Hello, everyone. This is the Danny Francesco show. I'm Francesco DiCarlo, your host, and I'm here with Danny Smith. And this is week number 2 of using Zoom, and I think we're pretty used to it by now.
Yeah, so how's your last week been in quarantine? How you been doing?
Same as the last week. There's not really much to do. I worked for the first time this week in like 3 weeks, and like it's empty. I'm not working as many hours as like I used to, and it's like sad.
Yeah, it sucks.
People are so scared.
I
How's
know.
how's your week going?
I've been just doing pretty much the same old, just hanging with my family, trying to stay busy, not doing much outside, like maybe going for a walk, but that's like really it outside. Haven't really been out like taking out food or anything, kind of just been chilling with my family inside.
All right, so let's talk about some coronavirus news. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, so I don't know if you heard about the news, but Governor Cuomo, he asked, because remember how last week we were talking about the USNS Comfort, how like they were going to bring it in for like patients with non-COVID.
Yeah. hmm
So apparently Governor Cuomo asked President Trump if he could change the boat into making it a COVID-19 patients boat. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I think that's like a good idea. We can keep so many like people and like supplies that we need like on the. It would just be like so like useful. Like,
I mean, the more beds, the better, which
yeah, exactly. I feel like that's like the one thing, like, because I think because that we're in quarantine is really to just like stop the spread and like so we don't have overcrowded hospitals and overcrowded like waiting rooms and trying to see doctors. So I feel like the more beds we can get like people in is like the better.
and I feel like the social distancing like guidelines, I feel like they're working because in New York City they're down the numbers. Governor Cuomo
Yeah.
said some of the numbers are down, but in Long Island the numbers are skyrocketing apparently now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like was kind of like bound to happen, especially like all like the biggest cases were in New York City, and I think Westchester had more than Long Island for a
Hmm.
while. But
Hmm.
like I feel like it was only a matter of time until it like really came down here
And
because if
to
it
reach,
stops up there a little bit, it's gonna come. It's gonna
and
spread.
finally like reached Long Island, like so.
Yeah, but I also think like the guidelines are really starting to work because like I mean you really can't go outside anymore. Like it really like they're really cutting down on it. So.
Yeah, and Cuomo, he's kind of cutting down on it so much. Governor Cuomo like issued a statement today in his press conference saying that if they catch someone outside like not social distancing, he could fine them up to $1,000.
Really?
Yeah, which is
That would definitely make people take it
it
seriously.
used to be like a minimum. It used to be a maximum of $500. Now $500 is the minimum, and $1,000 is the maximum.
I
That's
mean,
just.
as they should. Like, this is like people really got to start taking this seriously. Like,
Mhm.
insane. Because I saw like a picture of like a park in Brooklyn yesterday. It was like packed.
Yeah,
Like, those are like the only problems. Like people like like can go for a walk and do this, but then it just leaves everyone going to like these big parks and they're packed.
yeah, I'm pretty sure like Governor Cuomo was like he's like gonna shut down like all the playgrounds, all the New York playgrounds, which would be good because
Yeah. Well, I saw he extended the pause in New York till April 29th, meaning that like all non-essential jobs and schools will be closed till then. So.
and then like now everyone's freaking out because you see that tiger at the Bronx Zoo.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. And they said it was passed on from a worker at the zoo. So now like it's like this whole new question, like can animals pass it to people or can it go from like a person to animal to another person?
Yeah, because I remember them saying in the beginning that dogs couldn't get the coronavirus, but maybe other.
Yeah, same. But then I was watching a few doctors on TV today talking about how like it's like coronavirus can be alive in all mammals.
Hmm.
So like you just wonder like what it could do.
Hmm. And then Governor Comey's like showed like a bright spot like these past couple of days, like showing some bright things, and it turns out that 74% of the patients with COVID-19 have been discharged from the hospital, which is good. So it was.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of like the percent, but yeah, it just like sucks to see like all these like medical people like have you seen like doctors putting out stuff really trying to spread awareness because I feel like that's some stuff that like not a lot of like all the normal people are seeing.
Yeah, and like all the doctors complain they don't have any medical equipment. So if anyone has like anything to donate, they should just like donate.
Yeah. And
So
like they're saying that like normal people should wear masks now. And like one question I think is like
yeah. Hmm.
you're told like if you're gonna go outside, wear a mask, but you're also like supposed to be inside, and like we can like give those masks to doctors who really need it instead of like people wearing it just to go for like a bike ride or something
Yeah,
like
those are like the new CDC guidelines that they just put out. It's voluntary though.
voluntary. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think like just like nurses who are reusing masks, they use it a lot more than like
Hmm.
me going around the block like
Yeah.
walking or something.
Yeah, like it sucks like with the mask. Like I understand like if you just said like if you're walking, you're wearing a mask, okay, you could, but like If you're like going for like a run or a bike ride, you can't breathe in your mask. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Like
So
when,
yeah.
like, like when I was working, like my boss was like, you can wear masks if you want to, right? So I
Mhm.
tried putting on a mask for like 5 minutes and just walking around, I just couldn't breathe in it. I couldn't. So
Yeah, but then like for restaurants like that, like I don't I really wouldn't want to buy like food or like get something from like someone without a mask or like gloves or like just like so like you never know what could happen. It's like so risky at this point. Like
so you think
so
like you think Governor Cuomo in New York or even like all around the United States, you think they should have like mandated like masks for like all these essential workers and like in like restaurants or like take
yeah, I do because if they're essential, that means they have to be open because people need those things. So when people go out for things they need, like I feel like people who are like touching it and putting it away or stocking it up in like shelves or handing it to you, like it's like I don't know. I feel like they need that kind of stuff.
and people in the beginning of like all this coronavirus are like bashing Trump for like not having enough tests and stuff like that. And like
Mhm.
like in his press conference, he said like 1.67 million Americans have been tested, which is pretty good after like the beginning, after it was a rough beginning of not having many tests.
Yeah, but again like the U.S. is like has the most cases now. Like I feel like we need to be testing nonstop for as long as we need to.
Yeah, the U.S. has 356,653 cases and about 10,516 deaths, which
Yeah,
is
I saw the death toll just past 10,000.
and
I feel
around
like it's going to be like a little over 1,000 a day till for the next couple of weeks. So
I mean the peak in just in New York is going to be within the next a week or two, maybe. I feel like that's
yeah,
actually going to
I
hit.
mean that's another thing. I hope like as New Yorkers, like obviously like I hope don't hope the country gets that bad, but hopefully in New York like we really like the peak is pretty soon and we can get through this like quickly.
Yeah, like Governor Cuomo's worried like that like the apex is not gonna go like straight down like this. He feels like it's just gonna go and then stay on a plateau for a little while, the apex and come down. So
Yeah,
let's hope people listen to that social distancing and it just spikes right down, which would be great.
yeah.
So who knows what happens with that. And then do you see those new medications that they're putting out that
No, I didn't really
that
see.
help like coronavirus? Like it's called hydroxychloroquine. It's like
Yeah.
it's been helping like all these coronavirus patients and stuff like that. So
Okay. So
hopefully like that
I
works
saw
out.
like I saw like some place like a lab in like Pittsburgh like was like found something that like cured it in like a mice or like rats or something like
I mean, it doesn't work on everyone. Like Dr. Fauci said, like don't rely on this because it might not work most of the time. But like Donald Trump is endorsing it. But if it works on some people, they should just try it out.
I know, but then again, like we're talking about like people's lives we're risking here, so you don't want to be like, oh, just try it. Like maybe like it's
Hmm.
very like risky and like I don't know, I feel like I really think that like the world won't really be fully like back into normal until we really have a vaccine.
Hmm. And then I was watching Governor Phil Murphy who's from New Jersey. He was like he had his press conference from New Jersey and like there was like he was like telling stories about like how people just aren't listening in New Jersey either. That's why that they have like really high numbers too, and they're not even that big of a state.
And that's kind of like New York. I feel like it's like really being taken, like the guidelines are really being taken seriously now. But like I feel like only when we saw how serious it was, and like a lot of other states aren't as in as a serious condition as New York. So I feel like until they see that,
Mhm.
that's when they'll start taking it seriously. So hopefully they can like see it before in those states it really spreads throughout the whole state.
Yeah, like Governor Phil Murphy, he was saying like he gave like two stories of like this guy and like six juvenile kids were playing basketball on a court when they weren't
Yeah.
supposed to, and then one story where like the police arrested a guy and like he was saying he had like coronavirus and was spitting on like all the cops.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I
And
know. It's like it's like evil. Like it's crazy, man.
I mean, to shed light on, he had made a funny joke. He said that he should be in the Hall of Shame, which was pretty funny, but he should be because shouldn't be doing. They should be getting arrested in the first place. So.
Yeah, I saw a video a bus driver posted. A lady was coughing on his bus, and he kept telling her to cover her mouth, and she just wouldn't do it. And
Hmm.
he posted like this huge like a
I saw
video,
that.
and then the doctor died. I mean,
Mhm.
no, the bus driver. I mean, he
Right?
died. How
Yeah,
horrible! Is that? Like,
I know. Now they're making people use the back of the bus.
I know. Yeah.
I have I have a friend. He said he takes the bus to go to work, and
Mhm.
he says that he takes the back door and they just let him off for free. Like they don't have to pay
Yeah,
for
yeah. That's the thing. Like hopping on the bus is free because you pay up front, but they're just opening the back now to stay away from the driver.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's the thing that's really like horrible though, like that like people need like those like transportations to like get places, and like it's just like a lose for like everyone involved kind of.
Subways are still full. Like people still go on.
Yeah.
They're like
I mean,
reducing it by 25%. The subway
yeah.
lines, like the
Yeah, I mean, I like drove like a few days ago to like go pick something up, and like I saw like a basketball court packed with kids, and like
Mhm.
a lot of people like the court by my house, like they took down the rims, but like they're not gonna do that everywhere.
No, yeah, like I know like in New York City, I don't know about like Long Island stuff like that. That's separate Nassau and Suffolk County. In New York City, the De Blasio, he said take down all the hoops from all the basketball courts because like all these kids are like still playing, they're not listening. So
In Nassau County, they're like separate towns are doing it,
mm-hmm,
like not everyone. So,
mm-hmm.
but like it also sucks because like the weather's nice finally, and that's like when people want to go outside and like they're finally like it's warm and like they want to go do stuff, and it sucks that it's like now like when
Yeah.
you can't.
The only thing they could do is just sit outside by themselves or go walk, but like stay very far away from people.
Exactly, but like yeah, just stupid.
Mm-hmm. And then other than the news in like the United States, let's talk about Italy. Italy, they're finally coming down. They hit their peak and they're finally on their way down, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean Italy was really bad though for a little bit.
Beginning, yeah.
I don't even think it was that bad in the U.S. yet, so we'll
And
see.
Spain hit the mark for the second most of coronavirus cases. It's
Yeah,
pretty bad there too.
yeah.
So
And like
hopefully,
it's crazy to think about how like Spain and Italy are like such countries that like people go to visit, and like they're like not like third world countries that are like kind of like short on supplies and resources. It's like these are countries that like everyone goes to visit and like see stuff, and so it's really crazy how it's happening in those kind of countries.
and like I feel like it's really bad there. Like it's bad here, but it was really bad there in the beginning because they don't have like as good healthcare system as like we do in the United States. So like they weren't as prepared as us. So I feel
Yeah,
like that's why it really hurt them the most. So hopefully like
yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
hopefully we can contain the numbers soon everywhere else because our good healthcare system and like all these good doctors that are like helping us and everything. They don't have to go in and they're doing it for us, which is great.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so many like people are like going back to help like work in like the medical departments and just trying to do anything they can.
So let's hope all their work pays off at the end. So
Yep.
so that's it,
Okay.
everyone. So I'm your host Francesco Carlo, and I'm here with Danny Smith, and this is the Danny and Francesco show, and we hope you have a nice week.